In 1985, West Indies played an ODI series against Sri Lanka. The legendary commentator Tony Cozier, in reporting on the match, then wrote, Aravinda da Silva was like a senior pro set loose among little children. From then on, I admire the Sri Lankan batsman. And in 1995, when my son was born, the first son, I named him Ozzy Lewis Avarani Brown. It should have been Aravinda, but I did not know how to spell it, and so I ended spelling it wrong. I have always admired Sri Lanka cricket. And as West Indies head to the Asian continent to play Sri Lanka in 3 ODI and 3 T20, this morning I have selected my T20 squad and ODI squads for that tour. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the #1 cricket channel in the Caribbean. I really appreciate your company and is very happy that you could join me. I look forward to the interaction with you. Now, in selecting my squad, I have to come up with the composition of the squad. For the T20 squad, I have selected 7 batsmen. My composition was 7 batsmen, 2 batting all-rounders, 2 bowling all-rounders, and 4 bowlers. For the ODI squad, my composition was to the side and 6 batsmen, 2 batting all-rounders, 2 bowling all-rounders, and 5 specialist bowlers. In considering my squad, these are the name of the batsmen who I considered. Alec Atanase, who played 3 T20 international for West Indies against South Africa earlier this year. He made, I think, 41 or 42 in the first match. Some persons said that he had done his job, although his strike rate was only 133 in that match. In the other 2 matches, he failed. Alec Atanase is a young batsman who have done well at the 2018 ODI World Cup for under-19. He is very promising, but is yet to deliver. Then there's Johnson Charles, who have done splendidly in the ongoing Caribbean Premier League to be the second leading run scorer. Johnson Charles have played in the last World Cup, and in the rise of West Indies from number 8 to number 3 on the T20 table, Johnson Charles has been one of our leading batsmen. He came under a lot of pressure in the T20 World Cup. In building for the 2026 World Cup, the question that I have to ask myself, will Johnson Charles' prolific form that he's showing this year in the CPL, will that form that he showed leading up to the T20 World Cup, in which he was the only West Indies batsman to score an international T20 100 for the past 2 years, will Johnson Charles be around in 2026? That's a question that I have to ask myself. No doubt, if I was picking a squad without the 2026 World Cup in mind, Johnson Charles would be a sure pick. But have I made that decision to include him in the squad to Sri Lanka? Andre Fletcher, similar sentiments can be expressed about Andre Fletcher as is expressed about Johnson Charles. Shimron Etmire, whose T20 international record is not one that makes him a compulsory pick in any West Indies T20 squad. In the last match against South Africa, he was a part of the World Cup squad and did not play any match. In the last match against South Africa, he batted very well and is now one of the leading run scorers in this year's CPL. Will I pick Shimron Etmaya in my squad for Sri Lanka? Then there's Shea Hope, who, after sitting out most of the World Cup, have done reasonably well since then. He has opened the innings for the West Indies when Brandon King became injured, and he has done very well. And more than likely, Shea Hope's place is assured in this team. Maybe in doing this, I should just say that I think that Shea Hope, Brandon King, Nicholas Pooran, Ravman Powell, and Shafane Rutherford, those five are assured of their game in this team. Who will be the other two to go with them? Elvin Lewis, as we have seen, is our leading T20 international batsman when he is at his very best. His numbers speak for themselves. And in this year's CPL, he made a brilliant 100. Elvin Lewis, as we know, is destructive and he's always been called to the West Indies T20 squad on numerous occasions. Even before the World Cup, he was called to the training squad, but he said he was not ready. He was not yet fit. Those are the 10 batsmen on my mind, on my radar, which I will choose 7 from. When it comes to the all-rounders, I have 3 batting all-rounders and 5 bowling all-rounders. Ruston Chase did magnificent at the World Cup. Since then, his form has fallen off. Kyle Myers played at 1 match in the World Cup, and we saw in the T20 in the Caribbean Premier League T20 tournament that is ongoing that he has improved his bowling tremendously and is one of the leading West Indies batsmen in the tournament also. Then there is Andre Russell. And the same thing that I said about Johnson Charles and Andre Fletcher, I can also say it about Andre Russell. In addition to that, is Andre Russell now available? It is a decision that I have to make. When it comes to the bowling all-rounders, one would think that Romario Shepherd is a sure pick. Fabian Allen did not take part in that, although in the squad for the South Africa series, only played the last match. He did not bowl, he did not bat. He played in the previous series in May in Jamaica and did fairly well, especially with the ball. Up to Saturday night, he was the 5th leading West Indies bowler at the CPL. He has since been removed off that list by Jason Holder, who turned down the opportunity to play it against South Africa. Sorry. Is Jason Holder ready? Matthew Ford did play against South Africa, and Matthew Ford is someone who tends to pick wickets very early. Shamar Springer have impressed, and he has been knocking at the door and has been knocking very hard. But I'm only going with 2 of these, and Romario Shepherd is sure to play. Do I go with the spin of Fabian Allen in the subcontinent, or do I go with Ford, who has been performing fairly well without being outstanding? Or do I go with the veteran Jason Holder or Shamar Springer, who have been knocking at the door? When it comes to the bowlers, I will be selecting 4 of these 7. I am impressed with Terence Hines, and he continues to improve as a bowler. And you can see where he's trusted by the Trinbago Knight Riders hierarchy, and he consistently bowled well, especially in the death. He again bowled well last night, and he can bat. He has 100 in regional 4-day cricket. Many of the batsmen that we have been touted over the years as genuine batsmen and who should make the West Indies team have only recently scored 100 in regional cricket. Terence Hines has 100, I think, from way back as 2021 in regional 4-day cricket. He can bat, and his bowling has been improving. We saw where Halzari Joseph has picked up his bowling in this year's CPL. He has been rested, and he continues to get wicket, although at times, some would say most times, very expensive. Shamar Joseph has been the find of the CPL. I said in the series against South Africa that I am not quite sure that Shamar Joseph is ready for T20 international cricket. I said I want to see what he will be doing in that series and in the CPL to make up my mind. In the first two matches, he went for a lot of runs. However, since the team arrived in Guyana, he has been splendid. He has been getting wickets at a very low economy and have been picking up wicket at a low strike rate. Shamar Joseph is definitely one of those bowlers you will have to consider for all format. When it comes to the spinners, there's no doubt that Akil Hussain and Gudakesh Moti will be in the squad. Ashmead Ned is a developing and it's good to see that he's bowling consistently. Having said all of that, I now reveal my T20 squad for the tour of Sri Lanka. And that squad is Shimron Hetmyer, Shea Ope, Brandon King, Elvin Lewis, Nicholas Pooran, Ravman Powell, the captain, Shafane Rutherford, Ruston Chase, Kyle Myers, Fabian Allen, Romario Shepherd, Alzari Joseph, Shamar Joseph, Akil Hussain, and Gudakesh Moti. That is my T20 international squad for the West Indies tour of South Africa. I really appreciate if you would react to this squad and give me your views and give me your squad, and if you have any objection to this squad. Again, this is my squad. You are entitled to your squad. You're entitled to your opinion, but this is my squad. Good morning, the champion, and the champion says Sri Lanka stood strong. Yes, especially in Test cricket, they are playing very well, and in their home condition, they are going to be a very difficult team to beat, especially in the ODI. West Indies ranked third in T20 international, and I expect them that West Indies will do much, much better in the T20. Donald Popper, good morning to you. Yusuf Greenwich, I don't know. I am going to allow you, Yusuf Greenwich, I'm going to allow you to go and see your optician because I don't know why you asked this question. Clearly, you are either not listening or you cannot read. For there's no way you should have asked this question. This question is just out completely. So there must be something wrong with your hearing or your eyesight. I don't mean to be aggressive, but why would you ask this question when it is clear that Romario Shepherd is in the squad? And I said it. I called his name. I said he was one of the sure pick. I called his name. It is there on the screen. And you are asking why he's not in the squad. And I am in no way disrespectful. But in you asking that question, I have to question whether you are seeing and whether you are hearing. Because there's no way you should have asked that question. The champion said, I want to pick Alec, but an informed Evan is no joke. He's really our best T20 international batsman and form. And it was very difficult whether to include to leave out Evelyn Lewis out of the squad. Very difficult. And what I said is that being just back, I will now allow these batsmen who have really taken us. Oh, I did have him in my squad. Who was it that I leave out to put in Evelyn Lewis? I did have Evelyn Lewis in my squad. Sorry, dear, the champion. I did have Evelyn Lewis in my squad. Yes, I think, yes, that was the conversation, whether to stick with Alec Athanaze or to go with Evelyn Lewis. That was the conversation I have in my mind, Yusuf Greenwich was saying that was before I saw the remainder of the squad, but you weren't listening and you weren't reading because at no time did I name the squad. Until now? Clearly, you weren't either reading or you weren't either listening because this one here saying that the first thing the West Indies white ball squad composition. That's the first thing I did. And then the next slide say batsmen on my radar, batsmen. The next slide said all-rounders on my radar. And then the third slide, bowlers on my radar. So I don't know where did I name the squad before now. And we just need to be patient with our Guyanese bias. We just need to be patient with our country bias and listen and pay attention to details. Okay, apology accepted. I rest my case. Very well. I rest my case. Apology accepted. I am one who really appreciate that because I am one who is also quick to apologize. Now, the batsmen on my radar for the ODI squad. These are the batsmen on my radar. Alec Atanase, Casey Carty, Shimron Etmire, Kavim Hodge, Shea Hope, who naturally will be the captain, Brandon King, Elvin Lewis, Mikel Lewis, and Nicholas Pooran. These are the batsmen on my radar. Alec Atanase, Casey Carty, Shea Hope, Brandon King. One would say that these players all are going to be in that squad. And there's no doubt about that. Now, it's Shimron Etmire. When I think about Shimron Etmire for the ODI squad, the first thing that came to my mind is that Shimron Etmire, is he available? The next thing is that Shimron Etmire performances for the West Indies in ODI cricket, again, does not make him a sure pick in this team. There are a number of batsmen who have performed much better than Shimron Etmire in ODI cricket. Kavim Hodge, who is a part of the test team, and I think with 50 over cricket, you probably need to have some solidity in that batting order, in that middle batting order. I think that it is more likely that the test batsmen can play T20 cricket more than the ODI batsmen. And so these are the 9 batsmen. When it comes to Nicholas Pooran, the first question that I have to ask myself is availability. Nicholas Pooran had said that he will only be playing ODI, one-day international cricket, closer towards the World Cup. So I have to ask, is he available? We have seen where Mikel Lewis have shown some good intent in this ongoing CPL T20 cricket competition. He's also the test match opening batsman. These are the 9 batsmen on my radar as I look to pick the one-day international squad. The all-rounders who are on my record as I look to pick this squad is again Ruston Chase, Kyle Myers, and Justin Greaves came into the mix. Ruston Chase, more or less, is also a sure pick in the ODI team, along with Romario Shepherd. Shamar Springer is also there. Matthew Ford, who have consistently get wicket, as I said, up front in T20, in ODI game, along with T20. Now, I also look again at Shamar Springer, who has been doing very well in red ball cricket and has done well in this year's CPL. Maybe Shamar Springer is just the ideal. ODI cricket is probably the ideal thing for Shamar Joseph. When I look at the bowlers, again, I have Terence Hines there. I would have said it. Alzari Joseph, Shamar Joseph, Obed McCoy. The thing is now, do I go with a left-arm seamer or do I go with all right-arm seamer? That's the question that I have to ask myself. When the West Indies bowlers were at their peak back in 1985, Marshall, Garner, Croft, Holden, Roberts, all of those were right-arm fast bowler. Ambrose, Walsh, Patterson, all the Anderson Cummins, all of the, well, probably I shouldn't have called Anderson Cummins in the same sentence with those. But all of those bowlers were right-arm fast bowler. Do we go for variation with Obed McCoy or do we go for our best bowlers? Jaden Seals has been outstanding, especially in red ball cricket. And I think at this stage, Jaden Seals may well be our best bowler. So I have selected my one-day international squad for the tour of Sri Lanka. Remind you, this series starts on the 13th of October with the 3 ODI. Then the T20 starts on the 20th. So here is my ODI squad for the tour. Alec Atanase, Casey Carty, Kavim Hodge, Shea Hope, Brandon King, Evelyn Lewis, Ruston Chase, Justin Greaves, Romario Shepherd, Matthew Ford, Alzari Joseph, Shamar Joseph, Akil Hussain, Gudakesh Moti, and Jaden Seals. That is my team. That is my 11 for my 15-man squad, ODI 15-man squad for the West Indies tour, of Sri Lanka. So Randy Beckers was saying that that's a good squad. I don't know about Fabian Allen. I would have probably give a new bowler and outings for experience, say Shamar Springer. Well, Randy Beckers, I think about that long and hard. Should I go with Fabian Allen, the spinner, as more likely a backup for the other two spinners in the subcontinent, in the Asian continent? Or should I go with Shamar Springer, who has been outstanding? And I think it's probably was a flip. It wasn't a flip of a kind, but maybe it came down to my Jamaican bias. Maybe that's what it came down to, because I really, really have a lot of time for Shamar Springer. I have a lot of time for him. And maybe if I pick this squad tomorrow, Shamar Springer would probably be in it ahead of Fabian Allen. So I have no issue with anyone who think that Shamar Springer should be in the squad ahead of Fabian Allen. I will raise my hand to anyone who thinks so. So Randy Beckers, I agree with you that Shamar Springer could be in the squad ahead of Fabian Allen. But there is my ODI squad, and along with my ODI squad, so that's the ODI squad, and this is the T20 international squad for the tour of Sri Lanka. Let's see what Cricket West Indies will do. Let's see if Cricket West Indies was waiting on me to select my squad, so they can now select their squad, and to ensure that I did not get it right. Because on many occasions, I believe that Cricket West Indies just wait to hear my squad, and in order not to prove me right, then they select their squad. But let's see what will happen this time. Thank you all for tuning in. Please remember to smash a like on the video and click on that subscribe button. And join me tomorrow night for the live watch-along of the eliminator between Trinbago Knight Riders and Barbados Royals. Trinbago Knight Riders will win. So if you're a betting man, go with Trinbago Knight Riders. See you then. Take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, and have a wonderful day.